and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the Radical Race Series, round 3, season 4 from Imola, and it's time for the battle of the Radicals. I'm JP. I'm going to be joined in the booth from the birthday boy himself, Mr. Edward Hunter, who's going to come along for the ride of this 3.050 mile circuit, 4.909 kilometers in length, and it's going to be an absolute classic, I'm sure. We've got 15 drivers taking to the circuit. Ed, are they ready for the battle of the Radicals? Can they handle the battle of the Radicals, or do we think it's all going to go a little bit Pete Tong?
Well, thank you very much for that intro, James. Yep, you heard that right. I am 30 years old today, or maybe due for the retirement home soon, before I know it, I'm sure. But yeah, this is a great track actually for the Radicals and iRacing in Autodrome. So, you know, for Radicals in the Emilia-Romagna region, see on very fast chicane Tamburello and at Vilna, big sausage curbs there, so that's what they're all going to want to avoid, because that can potentially not only destabilize the car but potentially send it skywards, which is the exact opposite. You want it very much planted floor, full acceleration for some of these fast corners here that Imola has to offer. So I think I anticipate that the feature could well be front runners running away with it, but I think the reverse grid's going to be really, really interesting when you see fast cars tucked up behind some of the ones that are a bit out of position and trying to make their way through at a circuit where overtaking is very much at a premium. You really have to work hard to pass someone around here. Yeah, you definitely do. Paul, amazing YouTube chat. Good evening, James and Edward. Looking forward to this one. We are looking forward to it as well, Paul. And unfortunately, we haven't got you, have we? Because you've been going to get drugs, apparently, or cortisone injection. Same thing. So there we go. Hope you're feeling better, mate. Hope everything's well. Coming into the last few minutes of qualifying, we've got a 9-lap sprint, 15-lap feature lined up for you here this evening as well. So hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, because it's going to be a good one. Jamie Bird currently leading the championship on 112 points, with Luke Crowley on 111, Mike Buson on 103, with Bruno Vittorino on 96, with Heinz Braun on 95 points in behind it. But let's bring you up the grid here this evening. Simon Edwards leads the way in the SR10. SR10's are silver, SR8's are gold. So Jamie Bird alongside him. Solly Raitanen in third, with Heinz Braun in fourth. Kim Andre Bjorklund in fifth, with Mike Buson in sixth. That's the two SR8s. Luke Crowley in seventh. Bruno Vittorino, there you go, I'm going to go with that one, in eighth. And Stefan Mellis, Colin Wynn, David Rollison and Robert Woodward. Good grid tonight. Phil Glover, Graham Matthews and Federico Casassa is down in 15th place. Get ready for this one, because I have a funny feeling it's going to be absolutely mental. We've got an SR8 and an SR10 on the front row. What is that going to mean for us up here in the booth?
Yeah, well, it's very, very interesting, because Simon Edwards, very, very difficult driver to beat. Jamie Bird is very much taking the fight to him in that SR8, and I expect more of the same. Bird seems really, really fired up at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to find out how he gets on. Good evening, gents. 15 drivers, full house. Absolutely. We're going to have 4 lights. Ladies and gentlemen, we are green, green, green for race number 1 this evening. Heading down to the once again in through Tamburello. Currently, Simon Edwards is sitting in second. Bird's leading the way. We're right in the behind. Bjorklund, Vaughan, Buson, Crowley, Vittorino, Mellis, Wynn and Rolliston. They just swapped places further back as well. They were having a great drama. Colin Wynn's in the wall. Phil Glover's doing somersaults. Federico Casassa comes out pit lane, says, I'm not having any of that, son. And then, unfortunately, David Rolliston looks like he all got caught up in it. And we've got Colin Wynn with a meatball already. And we've only just started that one, turn 1.
Yeah, there we go. So the fight just outside the top 10 becomes incredibly physical, and coming out of Tamburello on that long run to that left-hand corner, because it comes right after the chicane. That's usually where, if there's trouble ahead, you've not got a whole lot of time to react. So even in these radicals, they are pretty nippy on acceleration as well, but it can catch out the unwary, and that's certainly been the case for some of our back markers, in particular Glover, Rolliston and Wynn. Casasa, as you say, starting from the pit lane. He may be starting later than everybody else, but it now seems quite prudent, really, in hindsight, for the local driver here in the Emilia-Romagna region then, as we now see Simon Edwards having lost that pole position. I did say Jamie Bird would be the big threat to him. I was thinking more of race 2 in mind, but yeah, Jamie Bird, he wants to get a race 1 win under his belt, and look at how low the sun is as well, as Jamie Bird now tries to break the toe. No, Simon Edwards is going to be very, very quick down the back straight here, James.
Yeah, absolutely. We're on our run now through the start-finish line, coming down into Tamburello. Edwards is going to look. Is he going to take the inside line? He's going to have a go. Bird says, no, you are not going through. Right and then in behind that, Kim Andre Bjorklund, Heinz Braun, Mike Bousson, Luke Crowley, all there as well. In 1st to 7th are not very far apart whatsoever. Colin Wynn still going and trying to get rid of his meatball. He's going to have to go in the pit lane within 3 laps. Otherwise, he's going to be in trouble. Through the left-hander of Tozer now. Bird out in front. Heinz Braun is tucked up behind Kim Andre Bjorklund here, Ed. This is going to be very, very interesting indeed, because this is both SR10s battling away with Mike Bousson, who's sat in an SR8 behind him.
Yeah, and of course, because Jamie Bird is first in the queue here, he's making a big hole in the air behind him, and Edwards is slipstreaming him down the back straight. So too is Reitinen, Andre Bjorklund, Braun, and Bousson, as well as Luke Crowley, not too far behind either. I think Bousson is about 2nd adrift of Heinz Braun that we're riding on board with at the moment here. The German, as he just goes into the Variante Ultra, and look at, they're getting so bunched up, and Bjorklund goes flying there. So now Heinz Braun is going to try and muscle his way through as he goes towards the Vauxhall downhill under the bridge. The door opens on the inside. He doesn't decide to dive up the inside, and this is allowing Bousson to coast up in the SR8 as well. So no privacy as Bousson has a travel, but somehow keeps it pointing in the right direction, and disaster is avoided, but Edwards retakes the lead, goes around the outside, up the inside, and now it's Reitinen who's all over the back of him and diving up the inside into Tamburello.
Yeah, Bird comes off the inside, through the left, through the right. Now it's a run out of Tamburello, straight down into Variante Villeneuve. Another chicane coming up here as well. Another left, through Edwards goes, through Bird goes, through Reitinen goes, through Bjorklund in the back of Braun. Bousson's trying to hang on at the moment. He's like a climber on the edge of the mountain. He's gripping with fingertips, is Mike Bousson. They're going too wide. Ed's gasping for his life in the back. I think we need a defib on the man's 30th birthday. Let's hope he gets to 31 in this race, because this racing has been a bit mental here, Ed. And Heinz Bjorklund are Reitinen. They're not leaving any punches on their gloves, are they? They are smacking each other in the ring.
In my profession, I'm kind of just amazed they made it past 27 points. But anyway, yes, Bjorklund somehow is able to hold on to that viewers at home. Behind Brawl and Mike Crowley, not giving them any respite whatsoever. Then as you see the evening sun continuing to glare down on Emilia-Romagna, then as you see Bjorklund again trying to think up a move here. Now the thing is, there is a bit of a second gap between Reitinen, Bird and Edwards. So now Bird and Edwards are basically dueling amongst each other. Jamie Bird will get the slipstream this time around, but is the SR, has it just got the grunt to overcome the SR10? Is Simon Edwards going to have to do any defending here whatsoever? Look how much further ahead he was than Jamie Bird here as he sets the fastest lap race 4/10 quicker. I think Edwards is now starting to regain his stranglehold on this race as Bird goes a little deep into Tamburello, but able to collect it up again without losing too much time. Reitinen can still be a threat to him if he can keep Bjorklund at bay. But yeah, that's quite a train he is holding up now, because Bjorklund and Braun inseparable at the moment.
Yeah, lap 4-9 already here when Edwards, Bird breaking away a little bit from Reitinen, Bjorklund, Braun and Bousson slowly. Well, he was getting dropped off. He's now joined onto the back. The liveries are there. The sun is making it difficult. I did want to have a quick look at what happened right at the beginning. Oh, Colin Wynn looks like he got a tap, unfortunately, there from David Rolliston, and it may have just caused that whole drama. Let's just have a quick look. I'm going to do something really cheeky. I'm going to go back here. But yeah, David Rolliston, up the inside of Colin Wynn. Big set of brakes. Rollo comes straight across the track into Phil Glover. No holding the brakes for David Rolliston. Unfortunately, it causes a bit of drama, but he's down the back, having a little bit of a battle here as well with Graham Matthews. But David Rolliston had some apologising to do after that start.
So important just to get to the end of this one, because you never know what could happen ahead and how that might influence the reverse grid as well. You have got to finish the race to be in that draw for reverse grid contention. Then Jamie Bird closing in. We did see a comment from Paul LeMay. He said his money was on Jamie Bird. Well, Jamie Bird looking to cash out on that bet as Bjorkland is going side by side. He's going up the inside of Wrighton and takes the last podium position away from the Norwegian, or does he? Running, trying to dive it around the outside. They're still side by side on exit. Will Heinz Braun get involved in this now as well? No, he doesn't. He decides wisely to wait for a better opportunity, but now this is allowing Buson back into the equation, round the outside into Villeneuve. There we go. That was opportunistic and a half there from Mike Buson, and he is now up to 5th behind Bjorkland.
Yeah, absolutely. Buson, an opportunistic move.
He picked his moment well, yes.
he picked his moment well. Forget that word, I can't say it. Right through the left hand, and these guys go now as well. Great job from these three, but the problem is they've had a nice little battle, the four of them. But look at the gap up front. Bird now 1.4 seconds up, 1.9 seconds, sorry, up the road. He's running side by side, coming into the left-hander now. Through they go. Bird and Edwards through Grassini. Is going to be the run down into Ravazza. Who's going to be able to get this? Bird's looking up the inside. He's going to get a run in a minute because he drops down a hill. Bird's still going to have the inside. There's a little bit of door banging. Edwards gets his elbows out. Jamie Bird said, I don't care. I'm going through anyway.
That was very, very well set up by Jamie Bird as he just saves a massive slide coming out of Ravazza 2. So Simon Edwards is again going to get another run then as we're about to start lap 6 with our two leaders side by side over the start-finish line. Just 3 more laps to go. And Jamie Bird put all that effort in only to immediately lose it with a poor exit there. And inherently, he had to try something into the chicane because he knows Simon Edwards is just so much quicker down the straight that he's got to do all the work in the corners by getting alongside into the Variante Alta there. But look now, Witten is starting to gap Bjorkland. Now Buson and Braun are starting to look a little bit threatening in the rearview mirror here. So Bjorkland's got to keep his head here under a lot of pressure as Mike Buson looking for another victim to add to his tally here.
Yeah, I'm also interested in these two coming in behind. They've been closing slowly. Gaps 2.7 seconds. Luke Crowley and Bruno
Buson very close.
Buson's having another go with Kim Andre Bjorkland coming down now as well. Great run from Buson at the moment. He's on a little bit of a flyer as they go into Acqua Minerale.
Yeah, and look at now they've stopped fighting. Our leaders are starting to be closed in here because Simon Edwards not as confident in this middle sector. Again, Jamie goes inside into that chicane. Bit of smoke ahead, and Edwards is dropping down. Edwards loses the lead, so Jamie Bird muscles his way through.
Edwards has got to slow
Simon
down.
Edwards was very forceful the previous lap. Yeah, Simon Edwards a little bit too greedy over the curbs, and that has handed the lead back to Jamie Bird. And now Reitinen is back in the mix as well. So this could not have gone worse this lap than for Simon Edwards, unless he'd crashed out, of course. But luckily, he's still got a little bit of chance to salvage something out of this one. But right, he's going to get a brilliant down the straight.
Yeah. There goes now. Edwards is having a side-by-side battle. He's got Reitinen in beside him. Reitinen looks up the inside, and does he get there? No, but he is going to get a run out here once again. Through the left, right at Tamburello they go. Now coming into Variante Villeneuve, and Edwards is under pressure. It's more Edwards under pressure than Bird at the moment. Bird's going to try and escape. Reitinen's going to go down the outside, is he? He's going to have the inside for Toza. Edwards is going to get swamped here, Ed. If he is not careful at the moment, Edwards is going to get bullied out. He seems to be under pressure. Reitinen's going to take him on the right. You can see him behind him. We've got Buson and Braun as well. And now it's all getting a little bit scrappy. How did Edwards hang on to that position? I have no idea on that one.
Yeah, that was really good positioning from Reitinen there as well, because he knew where the racing line was. As we see, is that Buson losing out actually to Braun in all of this as Reitinen gets a little bit sideways. So too does Edwards. They're going too wide as they go up towards the chicane. This could get very, very messy if they don't handle it well here. And Edwards again, by the skin of his teeth, holds on, but he is looking so cagey here. Now Jamie Bird is nearly 2 seconds up the road. So Bird, by keeping it calm, composed, and measured and under control, has been able to control this one, whereas Edwards finds himself constantly playing the rear guard action.
Yeah, Edwards is on the defense. That's the problem. He's got the likes of Ryan and Bjorn, Buson and Bork. God, Jesus Christ, what is going on this evening? Buson and Bjorkland are also running side by side at the moment as well. But Edwards is now under attack again. And is this purely he got that line wrong? And he has just gone back into the grips of the drivers behind. And now Ryan has cleared through him. And now it's Braun's turn to have a go at Simon Edwards.
Yeah, Reitinen had to be brave to brake late enough to pull that one off, but you can tell Heinz Braun, just whenever they go too wide, he's got either way, he can just pick one of them to slipstream down the straight and slowly hook his way back into this fight as we see Bjorkland and Buson continuing to duel away in the background as well. But yeah, Simon Edwards, this was not part of the plan at all. That one mistake, I think you're right, it sort of snowballed out of control now, and now Reitinen's got the track position over him. It's going to take quite the fight to get back in front. So unlike Joe Bird, all these cars are the same, SR10s. So Jamie Bird, it's not like, he got by me in Sector 2, I can just wait for the start-finish straight and get back through. But now Reitinen has a little wide moment for Akam Rally, and here comes Simon Edwards, is going to try and go all the way around the outside into the Variante Alta, and Reitinen was not going to get that one out without a fight, but and Simon Edwards nearly loses it completely and drops all the way down to 6th. That's a costly mistake from the Englishman.
Yeah, Simon Edwards down the back end of the field now as well. Buson Bjorkland there once again. The livery, the reflective liveries off the sunlight. That is not me. I'm not doing anything, I promise, on that one. The sun is just not loving it at the moment, but now Edwards is going to come back at him. Buson, Bjorkland, Braun, they're going to run side by side. It's the final lap of the race. It's the final lap of the race. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It does look like Jamie Bird's going to wrap up race number 1. He has done a stellar job. There's not a lot you can say about Bird. He managed to stay out of trouble here, Ed. He's broken away and he's cleared 3.5 seconds. The battle, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, still raging on for the final lap.
Heinz Braun doing very, very well to sneak his way into 3rd past Bjorkland in that last lap while all the chaos is going on just in front of them. Now behind, of course, with Edwards clear boost on and get that one position back, but Bjorkland's not done with Heinz Braun yet. The two, Braun and Bjorkland, the two Bs just completely inseparable, but it's our 3rd man whose last name begins with B, Jamie Bird, that is looking to win is through Piratella. Bjorkland was not going to be able to get that one done, and now Simon Edwards might punish him for that mistake too, but look, round the outside again comes Buson.
Yeah, Buson's through again, once more through Aquamilarali. Bird's coming into Grassini. He's only got a few more corners to go. Jamie Bird is literally Ravazza 1, Ravazza 2, and out he goes, and winner, chicken dinner for Jamie Bird. Reitinen looks like he's going to hang on for 2nd, but is it going to be Bjorn, Bjorkland or Buson? The battle of the 3 Bs in this run as well. Jamie Bird through the final corner. Here he goes. Jamie Bird, winner, race number 1. Not a lot you can say for him. Great job. Reitinen's going to come over in 2nd, and it's going to be Braun going to grab 3rd. What about Simon Edwards? He's going to go for the race down the line with Buson. It's going to be Edwards. He picks him on the line. Oh, Mike Buson. What a shame.
Yeah, certainly he had some good moves in that race, but just pipped at the checkered flag. And Buson, that's the problem with being in the SR8. The SR10 had exactly the grunt when Edwards needed it all, and a bit of contact between Edwards and Bjorkland there post-race. I don't think Bjorkland will appreciate that being hit in the backside. I think maybe there was a miscommunication. Bjorkland slowed and Edwards didn't react in time.
Oh, well, I'm sure. I would love a little bit of controversy, and I'm highlighted on controversy, but let's hope that wasn't anything controversial. here as well as a few other cars come over the line. Federico Casassa starting from pit lane, gained 2 places up into 13th. Phil Glover, who's going to come through Ravazza 2. He had a rotten race, number 1, did Phil. And over he goes. Over the line into 14th, top 10 reverse. So that's going to put Robert Woodward and Stefan Mellis on the front row, and the recovering Colin Wynn, of course, after his incident earlier on as well. So a lot of people are going to be in a little bit of a different position for race number 2 here, Ed, especially with the bird and that coming down into 10th.
Exactly. So yeah, that's it's definitely going to reward those that stay out of trouble and also are very good at picking off the places when they're left on the table. But for me, that first race, it was really all about nailing the start, putting the pressure on Simon Edwards. Arguably had the faster car, made too many mistakes there, and that's why he ran to 5th ultimately rather than finishing on the podium.
Yeah, absolutely there once again. As we're going to go into the warm-up, it's only going to be a brief little warm-up here as well, less than 2 minutes. And well, I wonder if I can do what I normally do and grab Mr. Phil Glover for a quick chat for 1:20. Phil, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, James. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Caught up in an incident, race number 1. David Rolliston torpedoing you as he comes across the track.
Yeah, I thought I'd got away with that. It looked like there was a gap, and then, yeah, Dave must have come across. So it was all downhill from there, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no top 10 reverse pole for you, dear sir. How are you going to cope coming back from, I think it was 14th?
I don't know. I just try my best, mate. You know what it's like?
I definitely do. And final question for me, how are you loving the multi-class?
I like it, and I like it particularly because it means that there's more people on the track, which is good for you and good for me.
Absolutely. Are we going to see you, good for the league as well, to be blatantly honest with you? Are we going to see you win?
You will see me win at some point, James. It may not be this evening.
Is it going to be before my 50th birthday, which is in 3 years, Phil?
3 years. Well, I'll have a word with my coach and see what he can do.
Right, get him to kick your
Phil,
butt.
I've been waiting 30 years to see you win. It's my 30th birthday today, Phil. So.
Oh, congratulations.
Right, buddy. Well,
I hope he's paying you double time.
No, don't be silly. Stop giving him ideas, Phil. Stop giving him ideas. Right, I'll catch you in a bit, mate. You're going to be doing it up.
See you in a bit.
Workers' rights, one of those.
Give over. I don't remember it being double time on your birthday. Never in a month of Sundays.
That was never a condition of our agreement.
It was not. No, I don't remember that at all. I will deny all knowledge. Right, here is the grid for race number 2. Top 10 reverse. So it's going to be an SR8 front row of Robert Woodward and Stefan Mellis. SR10s of Bruno Vitorino and Luke Crowley. Then you're going to have Mike Bousson, Simon Edwards, Kimon J.B. Auckland, Heinz Braun, Solly Reitman, Jamie Bird. Then Graham Matthews, David Rolliston, both having a bit of a rough one. Casassa, Glover and Colin Wynn further down there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and people of all ages, race number 2 is going to be green, green, green. We're going to have 15 laps to go. How's this one going to work out really quickly before the lights come on?
SR8 are going to try and control it from the front. Look out for Vitorino and Crowley because he's stuck by her very quick in a straight line.
Okay, here we go. Lights are on. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Race 2. Ladies and gentlemen, it's green, green, green. That car did not go anywhere. I don't know who that was. Somebody didn't get off the line whatsoever. And now they've just been absolutely swamped. Stefan Mellis, Bruno Vitorino is going to lead the way into the first run here. Now on the run down into Villeneuve is still Mellis out in front. Currently at the moment, Vitorino in behind Bousson, Bjorklund, Edwards and Crowley. Somebody did not get off the line. I think that might have been Robert Woodward, who didn't go anywhere, but Bruno Vitorino taking Mike Bousson side by side.
Yeah, we go. Vitorino had a big spike coming just into Villeneuve, and somehow has been able to just hold on to second position there, but Bousson giving him a very, very hard time now, and also joined the party for close company. And Edwards has made a position at the start here up to 5th as well. He picking up Luke Crowley in the background. But yeah, Mellis, this is ideal for him from near the front row to just stay out complete that turquoise SR8 and let them all fight behind. But Vitorino, as I say, he's going to be strong straight line. So Melis needs to make hay while the going's good. I was about to say while the sun's shining, but the evening is very much in effect as the lights are on all these cars. So yeah, we see the battle between Braun and Crowley raging on. Crowley desperate to get that position back from his German rival ahead of him. Into answer to they come, and Luke Crowley knows he's going to have to use the stream wisely here. Jamie Bird behind him as well. Having gained 2 positions already, he's looking for another one.
Yeah, absolutely. Bear with us if you can see. I think there might be a little bit of an issue. Ed, if you can check your DMs for me, dear sir, in Discord, that would be absolutely amazing. It seems like we're having some little bit of technical issues with your beautiful voice coming through cleanly here as well. Stefan Melis now with Vitorino, Kimon, JP Ortland, Simon Edwards, Mike Buson, and Luke Crowley. Heinz Braun is in the mix. Jamie Bird's in there as well. He's picking off places, but he's doing it very, very slowly. Is Jamie. He's got 2 places gained currently, and he's chasing down Heinz Braun for another one. He's chasing down Luke Crowley, and that's how it's going to go with Mike Buson, Simon Edwards, Bjorklund, Vitorino, and Stefan Melis leading the field still. He's still leading the field at this moment in time on lap 2. Is he going to be leading the field, Ed, by the time we get to lap 15?
Difficult to say. I think Vitorino looks very quick here. Hopefully I don't sound as bad now. I've turned the down a little bit. So hopefully that has fixed it, but it might just be a thing that we may have to bear with as we see Bjorklund really weaving around here. And Melis, yeah, desperately is just going to have to keep defending here. Bjorklund up the inside again into the chicane around the altar, and that's going to turn it over Edwards surely. So Edwards getting revenge for race 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, we've still got a little bit of cutting in and out. We will try and deal with that in the background. I'm sure Ed will disconnect and connect and see if that resolves the issue. The wonderful world of Discord chat. Kimon, JP Ortland, Bruno Vitorino, Simon Edwards, Mike Buson, Luke Crowley going to continue to have their fight now as well. Behind that is Jamie Bird, Heinz Braun. Jamie Bird did get Heinz, and that's Bird moving up into a position at the same time. Up front, Vitorino and Bjorklund, they're going side by side. Melis is hanging on, but he's only hanging on because the guys behind are not letting up or not fighting, if you understand what I try and mean. They've got a can't stop fighting here, Ed, and at the moment Bjorklund is climbing all over the Melis. Is he going to bully him off the inside line? Stefan Melis first to third in a matter of a quarter.
Yeah, Melis just sort of trying to stay out of the way there. And yeah, I've minimized the screen as much as possible to try and reduce any issues that was happening there. But you see Stefan Melis through Tosa now. Just holds off Simon Edwards, but Edwards is on the outside. Is he going to try a bold move around the outside at Purital? No, he isn't. And Buson is right with them, as well as we see Luke Crowley is finally picked off for sick by Jamie Bird. There he is in the black machine, sliding up the inside. And yeah, Jamie Bird finally making a little bit here. He's right with the boot. As you see, yellow flag next to Bjorklund's name. So is Bjorklund in a there?
Yeah, Bjorklund's got to slow down. I think that's what Ed was trying to say there as well. And Bruno Vitorino is in the mix. Simon Edwards is now tucked in behind Stefan Melis. There's Luke Crowley with Jamie Bird and Buson. Vitorino has cleared Bjorklund. Bird's going to try and clear Buson around the outside. Buson says no. On board with Luke Crowley looking at this fight. There's battles behind Glover, Reitinen and Woodward. They're having a nice, interesting situation. Solly Reitinen second in race number 1, but sitting in 11th in race number 2 at the moment, and is not really making the progress we kind of expected.
Yeah, in fact, he's gone backwards. Speaking of going backwards, Mike Buson now falls behind Melis and Bird here. So he's down to 6th. But yeah, Reitinen has sort of gotten stuck behind Phil Glover here. He's also, I think, maybe had a little bit of contact at the start, just sort of the road completely blocked in front of him. Bird was able to sweep through. He ended up stuck in the pack. The problem is when you don't make a great start, even if you're a driver that knows how to finish on the podium, you can find yourself just in this situation where you see the leaders breaking away, and every lap, every corner, you stay stuck behind Phil Glover. Feel like an attendee there. But yeah, Phil Glover defending there. Good to see him finally getting some screen time.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got Reitinen in behind him. Is he going to be able to go around the outside? No. Phil's going to open up. Is he going to open up the steering? Phil, you got to open up the steering, son. There he is. Glover's on that inside line. Reitman goes through, and he's looked to set on his ways if he can. Come on, JP Auckland. Bruno Vitorino leading the field at the moment. Edwards tucked in behind him. Then we've got Stefan Mellis. Edward did clear Mellis. I'm a little bit afraid for Mellis, though, at the moment, because here's the high-flying bird currently at the moment, who's sitting in 5th place, up 5 places. Buson's tucked in behind him. Braun's in behind that. Then there's another Luke Crowley. Then there's Mr. Rolliston, who didn't have a great race one. Casassa has got to slow down, unfortunately. He's going to drop back, further back from Graham Matthews towards the bottom end of the grid. Glover, Woodward and Wynn are now mixing it out right. There's 2.5 seconds up the road. Bjorkland's going to go and take Vitorino, and Bjorkland goes and takes the lead. Is he going to be able to keep this position? Vitorino is there, but a gapped Simon Edwards.
Yeah, and while that's been going on, Jamie Bird, you saw just up the inside of Stefan Mellis into Tamburello. And there we go. Great positioning again for Jamie Bird. Now he's just one position away from the podium, and he's right behind Simon Edwards again. So we're going to see a rerun of race 1 in the battle for 3rd position. Vitorino, though, will be disappointed to see Mellis about to go 3 wide there with Braun and Busso. Oh, it's gone horribly wrong. Oh, that looks like Braun and Buson coming together, and both of them losing major bits of their cars.
Yeah, it looked like Braun lost the rear end, I think. Unfortunately, at the moment, you can see Buson trying, looking up the inside. They almost try and go 3 wide. Was there a tap? Nope. He loses it on his own, straight into the front of Mike Buson. The rear wing's going to go, there you go, up, it goes popped off that one, and then Buson also drops off as well. There you go, rear wing, front nose cone, both men, unfortunately, in a battered, wounded car. But I don't think there was really anywhere for Buson to be able to go there. He just lost it in front of him, and unfortunately for Braun, it caused a whole heap of hassle. And now Colin Wynn is tucked in here with Buson, with Glover. He's going to be looking at trying to gain some positions. But Kim on, JP Auckland, out in front. Bruno Vitorino with 10 laps or 9 laps to go now. Edwards sitting in second. Bird Mellis still hanging on, but only just. And he's second in class, of course, behind our race 1 winner, Jamie Bird.
Here we go. There goes Luke Crowley trying to go around the outside of Mellis, but Belgian has got the inside into Tamburello, just extends the corner enough to sort of make Luke think about that one and back out. So Crowley again, another of our SR10s, very, very quick down the straight, but Mellis got the confidence on the brakes. At least at this point he does, but he goes a little wide on the exit of the Villeneuve chicane. Into Tosa they come. Crowley on the outside. Up the inside comes Rolliston. Rolliston sees the gap at Tosa, and the Tiger Stripe liveried car is up into 6th position. So Luke Crowley was moving around the back of Mellis, but he's lost out ultimately in all of this.
Yeah, he's trying to go forward as a commentator. Your lag is really laggy. Thank you very much. We are aware that there is some issues with Ed's mic. We have been working frantically in the background to see if we can resolve the situation. And here, 1 minute it goes fine, and then it goes crackly, and then it goes fine again. We are working. Thank you very much for letting us know. And I promise you we will keep working until what time we either fix it or kick him out of the booth. One of the two. There we go. What do we want on that one?
I think somebody's going to get kicked in the head at the end of this one, that's for sure. Might be my internet provider, because it's clearly not working. I don't know, it doesn't let me watch it and commentate at the same time, so I make the window tiny as possible just to try and fix the issue. Maybe I'll just, I don't know what I'm supposed to fix the issue in the middle of commentary. To see another slowdown. Is that
Glover.
It's Glover, yeah, I thought it was Glover. As we see, just all sorts of issues here for Phil, as he's Ratton up ahead, has actually cleared Rolliston 7. So Ratton now right behind Luke Crowley. He's gained a lot of time over the course of this one since passing Glover.
Yeah, absolutely here as well. And Glover now is in the mix. Colin Wynn has just cleared Robert Woodward. Wood did not get off the line. And I don't just mean he didn't get off the line and he crawled. He didn't get off the line. We'll have a look back at race start in a very, very short minute. I just want to see how Murat Busson with no nose, the man from Mr. Somerset up the road from me, is battling away with Robert Woodward and Phil Glover. And he's still out there fighting. He's not in his John Deere, unfortunately. unfortunately, he's in his little SR8. You can't really tell it's an SR8 because at the moment, Ed, they look exactly the same as the SR10. Just no nose on that SR8. Oh, Woodward!
Oh! And round goes Woodward. So more
wing.
drama.
Wing.
He didn't get off the line, and he's found his way into the wall, sadly. And that's the end of his day. So they were going 3-wide. Piratella, their Glover, defending about as hard as he could. Woodward on the outside where there's no grip. Oh, no, he's on the inside, sorry. And, yeah, just suddenly nowhere to go. It all just tightened up in front of him.
Yeah, unfortunately it was. And Woodward jumped straight back to pit lane. I'm going to have a look back at race start while we've got this middle section of the race. Now watch Robert Woodward here on the left on pole position. He literally just spun it up and everybody just goes through. Talk about not making use of your pole position. That is not how to get an that is exactly not how to get an SR8 off the line. And before Robert Woodward knew it, he was down all the way in about 10th or 11th place at this point, and we've only gone through a few corners. Rolliston battles him, bullies him off the line as well, and Rollo goes through at the same time. But yeah, unfortunately now for Robert Woodward, he's in pit lane, and currently
Mellis is in trouble as well.
Yeah, Mellis has just dropped down the order again, unfortunately for him. And we can have a look back and see what happened to Stefan Mellis. It looks like there was a double incident with Mellis, and this is possibly going to be the first one. Oh, dude. No, where are you going? Oh, wherever he be.
He lit up the rears, didn't he?
Yeah, he lit up the rears, hit the curb, and unfortunately off he went there as well. Vitorino now tucked in. Woodward's got a meatball, which means he does have to go in the pit lane. Luke Crowley in there at the moment. He's got David Rolliston and Solly Reitenen in behind. Reitenen's done a good job from when we last picked up on him. He was down in 11th last time, +6 at the moment, sitting in 6th place.
Yeah, there we go. So I think Rolliston might have actually got back past him at some point, as we see a little bit of movement in the rear. That looks like the battle behind Luke Crowley between Rolliston and Reitenen then, just carrying on his merry way. Vitorino, by the way, still tucked in right behind Bjorklund as Jamie Bird sets the fastest out of the race, 1:36.2. So Bird continued to try and join freeway fight for victory there, so it could really go one of 4 ways in these final couple of laps.
Yeah, am I dreaming of all the lights just gone off? That was very bizarre. Why have all the car lights gone off? They were on. How are we for time of day? Anyway, where are we at? 7:29 in the morning, so it's possible that they might not need the lights. I hope not, because if they've got auto lights, iRacers just turned them off. So, unfortunately for them, they haven't got any lights whatsoever. I'm hoping they'll be able to see. Booston and Wynn battling him further down, and Rolliston, Wright, and Crowley. Then you've got Bird, Edwards, Vitorino. Bird and Edwards. I do wonder how this is going to go here, because I think Jamie Bird is mightily quick this season, and he's doing an absolutely stunning job, leading the championship as well in that SR8. And he is just absolutely flying. Through Grassini we go. Crowley's got to slow down. He took too much there as well, and now Reitenen's going to clear him on the way up into Grassini. But Jamie Bird is looking very, very strong this season, Ed. And you know, is it too early to talk about an early championship contender, do we think?
I think it might be a little bit too early, but he certainly had a very, very encouraging start to the season, and it's certainly not something that I think Simon Edwards might have been expecting coming in, because I think he very much thought this was going to be his show, and now Jamie Bird has come to very much spoil the party then, as we see our SR8 and SR10 classes delineated between them, but of course it is Bjorklund, Vitorino, Edwards, Bird, your top 4 then overall in the race. And Bird obviously being the lead SR8 means he's the danger man very much behind. He's not as quick down the straights, but he makes up for it the corners through very, very brave corner entries as well. And that's going to be worrying times for Edwards here, because it's stalemate between the top 3 because they're all in the same car. So you've got to think if somebody's going to make progress here, it's going to be Bird.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you are right. I think Bird will be the one on that one. Bird has some good experience here too, because the SR8 League raced here this season. It did as at the same time. The SR8 League that Bird does race in on a Monday. I believe Paul LeMay also does at the same time. We've got Mr. Gonzaga in YouTube chat as well. Go Mellis, he said at the same time. He's up in Birmingham at the moment. I'm not quite sure why he wants to be up there, but apparently Mr. George Gonzaga is in Birmingham. Not sure why. Not sure why he wants to be. But hey, there we go. What more could you ask for? But Bjorkland is going to be under clear. Sorry, Bjorkland is going to be clear. Vitorino, however, is not as clear, Ed, as he's got Simon Edwards and Bird tucked in behind.
Yeah, I think Vitorino was given a driver today as well, so he has certainly been able to in these great positions in reverse grids and hold onto them as Jamie Bird pulls out before realizing he has to tuck in for another dose of slipstream on the run into Tamburello here. But yeah, Bjorkland has really taken advantage of all this. 136.4, so he's faster than all of them, even Jamie Bird as well by about 2/10. So Bjorkland is absolutely control this one, and if Bird want to win this one, they need to clear Vitorino sooner rather than later.
Yeah, absolutely. Vitorino is the cork in the bottle. We got 4 laps to go. Vitorino, Edwards, Bird, and then it's going to be Bjorkland. Is he going to wrap up this victory? Brighton's battled his way up into 5th place. It does remind me of the tortoise and the hare, and Brighton has been the tortoise, but he's gained a lot of places in the process. He's done an absolutely stunning job here currently at the moment as well. I don't know what you're talking about. Birmingham is lovely. Yeah, okay, mate. I'll leave that one open to discussion. I've seen recent videos of Birmingham, and it doesn't look too pretty currently at the moment. Mike Busson having a nice little battle with the returning Colin Wynn. I haven't seen Colin for absolutely ages. I met him in real life, actually. He's a real nice fella. To be fair, I met most of these in real life at the same time, to be honest, and George, of course. So great job from all of them. It was a great time we had sitting, listening to music at Paul Clark's Hi-Fi Lounge near Bedford. It was an open day, and we went up there and glared at headsets that were like 12 grand. It was absolutely bonkers, but it was a nice day out. We had some great fun on his simulators there. Colin Wynn and Mike Busson were both there, and these guys are now battling it out on track. Through Ravazza 2 they go, and off that run down the start finish line. One of the things we are going to have to pick up, did Vitorino save his position? He did, but is Mike Busson going to go and get Mr. Colin Wynn? That's going to be the question.
Yeah, Vitorino still defending his Edwards, tried to get alongside into Villeneuve, and I think Simon Edwards has fallen down to the fourth. I've been watching this. You see Busson.
Oh, Bird's
exposed front tires. Oh, and Bird has had an off at Toso immediately after clearing Edwards. So I would suggest maybe some contact there.
Oh, there was. Oh, yeah. I'm not quite sure whether or not Vitorino may have had something to do with that. Oh, he braked very...
like miscommunication to me.
Yeah, he braked very
Bruno
early.
slows right down. Bruno slows very early for the corner. Edwards is trying to react, and unfortunately, sort of in trying to avoid Bruno, he hits Jamie Bird on the outside. That was my read on that anyway.
I agree. I think that's where we're pretty much at the same time. Paul LeMay, no, in YouTube chat, he says there. And we're going to have a look at the Busson Wynn battle. Busson's car is very badly damaged. He's got air flow into his socks at the moment, and that will please Busson's wife. Stop his feet getting all cheesy when he comes out of the car there. So Mike Busson battling away with the moving matters of Colin Wynn. Heinz Braun has had a bit of a shocker in race number 2 after finishing on the podium in race number 1 here, Ed. He's been a few issues, and he's all the way down in 14th. I don't even know if he's realised he ain't got a rear wing.
Well, I think it's he's really still suffering from the contact with Busson, isn't he? and he's sort of in this situation where he's kind of got to continue. But yeah, Casasa will be glad to see someone in this race, but he keeps getting experience under his belt. And to be fair, he's done a good job of staying out of trouble. His lap times haven't been more steady than spectacular, I would say, but he is faster than the very heavily damaged Heinz Braun behind him. But of course, Heinz Braun is having to be very, very careful whenever he gets to the braking zone, just to make sure the Radical he's driving, the SR10, doesn't spin out completely with no rear drag, helping it go through the corners there. But he seems to have just about got the hang of it. But unfortunately, yeah, that's going to be a very wounded Heinz Braun in many senses of the word, trying to bring that car home. So we are not far from the end now. Jamie Bird, after that off, is now 4 seconds behind the Vitorino-Edwards battle. But yeah, Bjorklund now, the Norwegian, is just continuing to stretch his legs up front. And you got to think Kim is going to be feeling very, very confident now that he can take this one home. He's done a stellar job really from middle of the top 10, made his way to the front very, very quickly, and let the others squabble amongst themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Bruce on under investigation for driving the car under the minimum weight, says George in YouTube chat there as well. Absolutely awesome. What he lacks in body work, he gains in body mass, I'm sure, George. So I won't worry too much. Vitorino, however, you're going to have to do some defending here at some point, mate, because otherwise Edwards is going to come and try and get past you. But Kim Andre Bjorklund out in front. Vitorino second, Edwards in third. That's the 1-2-3. And it's an all SR10 1-2-3 after Bird's mistake that he made. Edwards, gets a bit of a slide on here as well. Maybe I should go and have a go with these boys. Jim's back next week as well, you see, so I could come and have a go. I'll be down the back with Casasa. We can both have a run down there. I'll give Casasa something to have a battle with there. That would be absolutely amazing on that one. But we'll see whether or not I dust off the steering wheel once more. Simon Edwards.
Got to get the cobwebs off it, yeah.
Oh, mate, cobwebs. I've probably got, there's about half a dozen mounts of dust on it, and few other bits that probably shouldn't be on a steering wheel, like a jumper and a hat and all the other storage units.
Maybe a rat or two, yeah.
No, I don't want to. Don't. It's bad enough I've got a mouse in my wall at the moment. It's giving me a whole load of grief, the little rascal, and I can't get hold of him. So, yeah. At the moment, we are battling a mouse in my kitchen. He keeps avoiding the mouse traps, the little rascal. So, we'll go hunting for him every single night when he comes and scrapes through the wall. Anyway, now we've discussed my mouse issue. Let's go and have a situation with Kim Andre Bjorklund starting the fast and final lap. Vitorino and Edwards. Edwards has only got one more go at it.
Yeah, here we go. He's tucked in nicely. Edwards is trying to set this one up. He's trying to get sure he gets to the inside at the earliest opportunity here. Vitorino shuffled back into third position. So Simon Edwards, after losing positions in race one, now finds himself up to P2, and he's very much limited the damage here after surviving quite a lot of chaos and a big threat from Jamie Bird here. So really, Simon Edwards making the best of this feature, but Bjorklund is going to take maximum score 5 seconds up the road, and with the fastest lap to his name for good measure as well.
Yeah, Bjorklund going to take the win, I believe, in that SR10. Great job from Kim Andre Bjorklund. I haven't seen Kim on a racetrack for, Jesus, absolutely ever, actually. George, how long has it been? It's been a while since I've seen Kim race. To be fair, Edwards did grab that second at the moment. He's going through Aqua Minerale. He's just got to run up into Grassini to go. The gap is coming down from Bird, and Bird is taking quite a lot off him. Not going to lie, you can see there's just not 4 attempts out of them over the last lap for Jamie Bird, so great job from him. But Kim Andre Bjorklund, one more corner to go through Ravazza 1 and 2, and it is going to be the man from Norway for the Sim Racing Norway team. It's going to come over the line. Kim Andre Bjorklund gets a winner chicken dinner for race number 2. He goes over the line absolutely comfortable, 5.3 seconds ahead of Simon Edwards, who's going to come over in second place. And I don't know what happened to Vitorino there, but whatever happened to him, it happened on the final lap, and he drops down the order. Jamie Bird leading the SR8s. He comes over the line there as well. Great race, race number 2. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, quite a lot of action. And while you're talking there, Mike Buson also got past Colin Wynn for P8, despite obviously nothing at the front of his car there. So yeah, clearly Colin Wynn was surprised to see Mike Buson breezing by, and it was into the Grassini chicane. There we go. Just very, very aggressive on the brakes. And yeah, Colin Wynn, even
Colin Wynn did not come out the winner of that one. So there we go. As Casassa comes over the line here in his JPS Special SR10. Braun has got a penalty, but he's in pit lane, which means he's going to go all the way down the order. And I'll show you how far down in a few seconds when I can get the results up for race number 2. He's still around. He's lucky I'm not in the track. What is that in reference to? I don't know what that's in reference to. Anyway, let's bring you up the results of race number 2, then we'll whiz through some interviews. Kim on JP Auckland is your winner, then Simon Edwards and Bruno Vitorino in your 1, 2, 3. Then Jamie Bird, the winner in 4th place of race number 1 in the SR8s, the leading SR8s. Sully Wrighton, and I love that. It started towards down the end. I think it was like 9th or something, dropped down the order, battles his way back up into 5th. Luke Crowley 6th, David Rolliston, Mike Buson and Colin Wynn. Then you got Phil Glover, battles his way up into the top 10. That was a gain for Phil Glover as well, of 4 places. Stefan Mellis, Graham Matthews, Federico Casassa, Heinz Braun is, well, Heinz goes from hero to zero in race number 2. Race 1, podium 3rd. Race 2, 14th at the back. Robert Woodward, who just did not get the car off the line, and an absolute shocker. Let's have a quick chat with Mr. Phil Glover here in the booth. Phil, you gained 4 places, mate, and you went up into 10th. Stunning job.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, was it? I don't think I had any major dramas, to be honest, on that one. It would be so much easier if I could get myself up the front of the grid in terms of qualifying, but that's always been the case with me, hasn't it?
Yeah, but these things happen, mate, don't they? All in all, it was a good race. I thoroughly enjoyed it, mate. What did you think?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, was there a lot of drama around?
Oh, mate,
in the race?
There was up front was absolutely bonkers. Bird was winning and then losing. Robert Woodward just caused himself all sorts of problems. Yeah, it was fairly chaotic. I would say watch it back, to be honest, if you get 5 minutes.
Well, I always watch. Watch you guys on the commentary and stuff. So yeah, I look forward to doing that.
Okay, mate. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Phil. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Well, everybody that's new to the league that keeps coming back and makes the rest of it fun for the rest of us. So yeah, and of course Simon.
Absolutely. All right, mate. Well, take care. Have a good one, bud. And we'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah. See you later, James. Cheers.
Yeah. Well, we'll give the drivers a minute or so just in case we've missed anybody. And then we'll close out. But that was good. Phil gained 4 places. Not bad, right? And gained some places after he dropped down the order. Colin Wynn up 6, the biggest gainer with Jamie Bird and Kim on JP Auckland. Not a bad race.
Not at all, but you got to wonder because by the time Wrighton had cleared Glover, the next guy was 5 seconds up the road. So Phil did a very good job holding him up, much to Wrighton's frustration because he was well adrift of the top 4 battle. And going back to Simon Edwards, Jamie Bird, I wonder because there was that contact in race 1 and then again in race 2 with Jamie Bird this time coming off the worst of those 2 incidents. So I wondered there's going to be a little bit of needle going forward. Maybe you can ask him yourself, James.
Needles. Ooh, let's have a chat with the man that did win race number 1 and then finished 4th in race number 2, Mr. Jamie Bird, of course. Jamie, welcome in, bud.
Mr. Parfitt, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. How are you? Was that race number 1 was amazing. You managed to get away from the battle in and you went and just took it and took the win. Race number 2, leading, overtaking, and then making a mistake. I don't know if that's the best way of putting it, to be honest, because Vitorino was very slow. Edwards dived up the inside and you guys made contact.
Yeah, I just looked at replay. I thought I left enough room, but I probably started to close the door and Simon had nowhere to go. He drifted a little bit wide, but he was hard on the brakes anyway. So 50-50, but I'm happy to finish 4th. The Kim, Bruno and Simon, even though you said Bruno is slow, he wasn't slow. Three
No,
points.
it just seemed to be very slow. He just seemed to be very slow through that corner. So kind of got all three of you bunched up together.
Yeah. But all of the times he's quick. I mean, those 10s are quick on the straight anyway. So I think I had one shot trying to get past Simon, but as soon as those cars came on cam, they just they didn't leave him behind, but I could only just stay with him. So it had to be done on the brakes, and I tried, and it didn't work.
Okay, now listen, quick question. I looked at the championship and you're leading. Am I going to come back in a few weeks to still see Jamie Bird leading?
I didn't know I was leading. So now you said that, maybe not.
Rats. I shouldn't have mentioned it, Jamie. I shouldn't have mentioned it. But hey, listen, on the upside though, you've done rather well. You won, dropped down the order for reverse grid, then come back. You didn't throw it away in pure Jamie Bird fashion in race number 2. You just had a little moment that weren't even your fault.
I broke tradition for once, didn't I?
Did.
I did say to Luke normal service might be resumed soon, but yeah, maybe got my doppelganger in today to do the job.
Hey, whatever you did, mate, keep the lucky pants on, keep the socks on, it's working, I'll tell you that much. Anyone you want to shout out, Jamie, before we let you go, bud?
Kim, he rolled in today and he just showed us how it was done in race 2. So yeah, fair play to him.
All right, mate. Well, take care, bud. I'm going to look forward to seeing you next week.
Cheers, James. Thanks, man.
Right, we'll have a quick chat with the last remaining driver, finished in second place in race number 2. Race number 1 was a little bit more exciting for this man, Mr. Simon Edwards. Simon, welcome in, bud.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. Have you ever seen me make so many mistakes?
Hey, listen, do you know what? I didn't mind because the racing was so good in and around you. And I think that's the thing. You had the likes of Kim, you had the likes of Bruno, you had Jamie, you had Solly all in there battling away. And that must have felt amazing, wasn't it?
It was. I was regretting reducing the SR8 weight penalty there with Jamie's speed. But yeah, it was really, really good. So, I mean, we've got loads at the top now. We were all about the same speed, weren't we?
And I think that was the thing. You say you regretted reducing it. I thought it was practically spot on.
I'd put it as 20, which made me spot on. But then nobody could keep up with us on the test races. So we thought, we'll just reduce it a little bit. And we're talking 10th. So we're not talking like he's got a major advantage at all. He didn't. He was about equal, like you say.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really good, mate. And I look forward to seeing how this season goes with this concept as well. How are you finding it out there? You haven't just got one SR10 now. You've obviously got SR8s in the mix. What's it bringing to the racing?
It's bringing everything, really. Now, with the cars being such different speeds, it means it's not just we're going to pass on the straight, we might do that in the 10s, but there's jeopardy everywhere.
Yeah, I do agree, and I think there's some fast guys in the 8 as well. Jamie Bird, Mike Bouson's all mixing it up in the 8s at the same time. I think it's going to be amazing. Simon, anyone you want to shout out before we let you go, bud?
Let's give a shout out to Kim there for winning. Did he win both, or did Sully win the first?
No, Jamie Bird took the race 1, then Brighton, and then Braun, and then Kim, and then you and Vitorino. So 6 different podiums, actually.
Yep, loads of different,
Awesome. Looking forward to that as well. So shout out to Kim.
I think so, because he's won his first feature. I mean, it is his first feature as well, which is ominous, isn't it?
He's a quick driver. I've known Kim for a while. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing how he gets on. Simon, great pleasure as always, dear sir. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
Yep, see you soon.
Take care, mate. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you go, Ed. That brings us to the end of the broadcast. What do you think? SR8s, SR10s. Is it a thing? Can it be a thing? And is it worth being a thing?
I think we've just seen 3 races so far this season of it being very much a thing that worked. And Simon and the rest of the team have worked very hard to try and make it as fair as possible. Last time, this little comment there saying, well, balance for me, but I was too quick compared to everyone else, so that he was
was throwing it off by 7 lap times, which is slightly too good there. So, like a little pat on the back that he sort of unintentionally has to give himself by making the SR8s a little lighter to compensate. I'm sure Jamie Bird will be thanking him at least for some of the contact on track, but it does sound like they've. It's going to be fairly amicably resolved behind closed doors, which is probably the way most of these things should be, to be honest, James. But yeah, a lovely afternoon racing, and yeah, fair play to Kim Andrew Bjorkland. He was absolutely superb in that second race, and Dick out front, he was pretty much unbeatable.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Thanks to everybody who's joined us in YouTube chat as well. Apologies again for the issues we had with Eggs Mike, but we're getting there on that one.
I should apologise. That's not your fault.
That's all right, mate. I'm JP. I've been joined in the booth by Ed, and as always, take care. Have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on a track sometime. Good night.